Today, we're figuring out how well the Squirtle line does in Generation 1. If you didn't watch my Charizard video, go on and check that one out too, but I'll give a quick summary of what I'm actually doing in this video just in case. It's pretty simple. We'll be beating Pokemon Blue using only Squirtle and its evolutions. This video is supposed to reflect what a casual player's experience with the Squirtle line would be. I'm not going to be pushing it to the limit here, but I won't, at least hopefully won't have to overlevel to the point that it makes fights redundant. I do play with a couple of restrictions like no items in battle and no saving between Elite Four members, primarily because if I'm losing to the Elite Four, I'll want to level up anyway. Alright, so let's jump right into Brock. Squirtle is obviously going to have a far easier time against Brock than Charmander did. With Charmander, we had to grind a bit to equal Brock's ace Onix in level 14. However, with Squirtle, all we have to do is fight a few bug catchers in Viridian Forest to hit level 9 and learn Bubble. Geodude and Onix are dual types, Rock and Ground, and Bubble hits Rock and Ground both super effectively, meaning it's 4 times effective here. What else is there to say? Let's move on to Misty. Misty is a taller order than Brock. I did try her at level 22, but at that point I just didn't have any moves that could do any kind of respectable damage. So I clear the Nugget Bridge and the routes above Cerulean and get to level 24, where Wartortle learns the base 60 power normal type move, Bite. A 2-shot on Staryu is big. Starmie getting X Defend is annoying, but it only uses Tackle, even though I think Bubble Beam would probably do more. We get past Misty 2 levels lower than Charmeleon did. Not bad. Now with Surge, you might think this is an opportunity for Charmeleon to make up some ground. You'd be wrong. Now I did screw up and sprinted right through the SSN without getting the Body Slam TM, but Bite acts as sort of a pseudo Body Slam. Surge is no issue for Wartortle though, because like Charmeleon, it gets Dig. That one-shots Pikachu and Voltorb. We have to eat a Thunder Shock from Raichu, but Dig crits, and yeah, this fight wasn't close. We make our way through the game corner in order to evolve Wartortle to the Stoizy Boy. Now, those few who have Gen 1 learn sets memorized may be thinking, hey man, why didn't you teach Withdraw? Don't you know about the Badge Boost glitch? Yes, I know about the Badge Boost glitch. I know way more about the Badge Boost glitch than you do. This is my video. I'm the one giving lessons on obscure Gen 1 mechanics, not you, so why don't you just sit down and listen? Anyway, let's go over the Badge Boost glitch. If you consume Gen 1 Pokemon content regularly, you probably already know all about this glitch. But if you're someone like, say, my mom, who's only watching this because you love me, hi mom, love you too, you probably don't know about this because, like the name implies, it's a glitch, not a mechanic the game teaches you. In the first 3 generations of Pokemon, certain gym badges gave your Pokemon a passive boost to their stats once you earned them. 12.5 for the first 2 generations, and 10 for the third. In Gen 1, these badges are the Boulder Badge, Thunder Badge, Soul Badge, and Volcano Badge. The leaders who give these badges will tell you what stat they improve once you receive them. Brock tells you his badge improves attack, Surge claims speed, Koga claims defense, and Blaine tells you special. Notice I said Surge claims speed and Koga claims defense. That's because Surge's badge actually increases defense and Koga's badge increases speed. Yeah, Gen 1 is packed to the brim with bugs, glitches, and flat-out lies apparently, but these games are held together by nothing but chewed bubblegum and the prayers of Link and Captain Falcon. So let's just be grateful they function at all. So what does Withdraw have to do with any of this? Well, stat adjusting moves interact with the stat boost from badges in a way that causes the boost to reapply themselves. That means once you have the Boulder Badge and use Withdraw, your attack stat is now increased by 25%, and you can use moves that increase the stat by 1 stage, like Withdraw, 6 times, meaning you can get up to an 87.5 increase to your stats. But wait, there's more. Say you use Withdraw 6 times to max your defense, and then you're hit with a move like Tail Whip that lowers defense. Well, moves that lower your stats also reapply the Badge Boost glitch, which now bumps us up to an even 100% increase. But wait, there's more. Now that our defense has been lowered a stage, we can use Withdraw again, giving us another 12.5%, meaning there's no hard cap on how much you can actually increase your stats with this method. The reason I'm not using this is because, like I said at the start, I want to see how good the Squirtle line is to an average person, and an average person probably wouldn't be abusing glitches like this if they even knew about them. Even though we will benefit from this occasionally, as we can't really help when we're hit by a stat-reducing move. Okay, let's get back to Erica. We've given the girl on the top of the department store a water to acquire the TM for Ice Beam. Victreebel manages to put us to sleep, but we wake up on the first turn. Razor Leaf does a good chunk of damage, but not enough. Tangela is no threat. We get a crit on Vileplume for the one-shot, and we beat Erica on our first attempt. We've leveled up a few times on our way to Koga. We are still under-leveled, but I want to keep pace at least a little bit. There just flat out isn't much Koga can really do to us. 1 dig for the first coughing. 2 digs would have been enough for Muck, but I get a bit cheeky there trying to finish it off with Bite, and it ends up being a 3-shot. The second coughing actually survives a dig and poisons me. It doesn't amount to much because you find out why we love to dig against Koga, with Wheezing self-destructing while we're safe underground. We're up to 45 by the time we get through Silphco and to Sabrina. Kadabra is an expected one-shot. Mr. Mime tanks a dig and gets off a barrier, but that won't save it. Venomoth needs 2 Ice Beams and ends up paralyzing us. That will prove to be annoying as we're on to Alakazam. We almost one-shot it with Dig, and it uses Recover, and I think you can see where this is going. We're fully paralyzed on another Dig attempt as it gets off Reflect and another Recover. I was reluctant to use Surf because Alakazam's special is so high that special attacks aren't incredibly effective against it, but now that it has Reflect up, my physical attacks aren't a great option either. Dig might technically still do more damage here, but I figure my best course of action is to go for Surf, as Dig needs to pass 2 paralysis checks to get off 1 attack, and Alakazam would be able to recover to its heart's content. We land a few Surfs, and it does get us to pretty low health, but we still eke out a first try victory. And for the second to last gym leader, Blaine, I'm going to do what I did in my Charmander video and just speed through this since it is again just spamming 1 attack. Nothing to say here. We're water, he's fire, we win. Same thing for Giovanni since he's the ground-type gym leader. If anything, he's more pathetic than Blaine was, since at least Blaine's Arcanine needed 2 Surfs. Kind of an anticlimactic way to end the gym challenge. I know I lied multiple times in the last video about featuring rival fights, and I'm sorry guys, but I've done it again. I said last time I'd include the pre-Elite Four rival fight since it gives us a good feel of what his final team will be. But I forgot to actually record it. So here's an artist's rendition of what the fight probably looked like. I beef up Blastoise with the rare candies I found along the way, and it's time for Lorelei. I did try this fight at like level 50, but it wasn't even close, so we're going to skip right to the level 60 fight. Now he's rocking Submission because without it, we'd have to level up a ton just for Lorelei, and I really don't want to do that, because if we can get past her, I feel pretty good about the rest of the Elite Four at the level we're at now. Submission is the best fighting move in the game, which is sad, because it's a garbage move with only 80% accuracy and it deals back recoil damage. The crit on Dugong was huge, but you see me kind of go back and forth on how I want to deal with Cloyster, because Submission is super effective against it, but Cloyster has such a high defense stat it's still not even a 2-shot. Luckily it doesn't do too much to us with Spike Cannon and we take it down. Earthquake to deal with Slowbro, but after the Withdraw Growl combo, I think Surf is actually our best bet. Lapras has a lot of health, so using Submission here is risky. It confuses us, and honestly I'm thinking the fight's over with, but we get in another Submission, Lorelei chokes, going for Confuse Ray again, and we manage to pass another Confusion check, and I'm hoping it's smooth sailing from here on out. Yes, Bruno is as much of a joke as ever. We just spam Surf and he doesn't manage to even attempt to attack us. Agatha is only slightly less of a joke than Bruno, since at least her Golbat is able to land a wing attack. Other than that, Earthquake cuts right through her team. Rolling into Lance, I'm feeling pretty good about this fight too. I'm thinking Ice Beam is our best bet to deal with Gyarados, and the game says Ice Beam is super effective, but this is another bold-faced lie. Gyarados is a water flying type, and water resists ice, but ice is super effective against flying. The game decides to display text as if Gyarados was only flying type, but it is registering the damage properly, so we're dealing neutral damage. The crit Hyper Beam hurts us bad, and even though we're able to get through to Aerodactyl, it outspeeds us and lands a crit Hyper Beam itself, so we have a little work to do. I don't level up very much here because I think we were pretty close in the last fight. We just got kind of unlucky with the Gyarados. This time, it doesn't do nearly as much damage to us. Of course, the Dragonairs are both one-shots. So is the Aerodactyl, which I wasn't really expecting, but I'll definitely take. The Dragonite, being dragon flying, Ice Beam is 4 times effective, and we get a crit for good measure. And all that's left is the champion. Okay, so Ice Beam Pidgeot, it mirror moves Ice Beam back, no problem, and... What? No way! Mirror move Ice Beam Freeze. I can't believe that. I won't believe that. That's impossible. So while this majorly sucks for us, I do have to give it up. That was kind of awesome. And it gives us another opportunity to talk about obscure Gen 1 mechanics. In every generation after the first, a frozen Pokemon has a certain percentage chance to unthaw every turn. It varies by game, but at least it's there. In Gen 1, the only way a Pokemon can unthaw in battle is to use an item like Ice Heal, or Full Restore, or if it's hit by a Fire-type move. This means being frozen is effectively being knocked out. Obviously, Pidgeot doesn't have any Fire-type moves to save us, and we don't use items in battle, meaning this fight is over. So we're back, and this time instead of Mirror Move, Pidgeot charges for Sky Attack, but we don't give it another turn to use it. Alakazam pops a Reflect, but Earthquake crits and we one-shot it. Rhydon can't take a Surf, we Ice Beam Gyarados and miss. If you didn't know, Ice Beam has 100% accuracy, and our accuracy hasn't been lowered, so you might be wondering how did we miss. It's time again for more obscure Gen 1 mechanics. In Gen 1, there's a mistake or a bug or something with how the game does its accuracy checks. I'm not going to go through the entire process now, but what's important to know is that because of this, even moves with 100 accuracy actually have a 1 in 256 chance to miss, and we experience that right there. My next Ice Beam manages to freeze, and as we just discussed, Gyarados now can't unfreeze. All we need is a couple of Surfs for Arcanine. We hit Venusaur with Ice Beam, and I'm not sure, but I'm worried that since Razor Leaf always crits, it might be able to finish us here. But it decides to charge for Solar Beam, and that's all she wrote. Blastoise finishes at level 64, significantly lower than Charizard's 72. I think Blastoise's biggest issue was its speed. As you might have noticed, we were getting outsped a lot more than I would have liked, while Charizard never really had that problem. And even though Blastoise doesn't have the more optimal stat distribution of Charizard, Water is a better overall type than Fire for this game, and what really sets it apart is its move pool. We were getting moves all game, right when we needed them. Early Bubble for Brock, then we got Water Gun not long after that to help us get through Rock Tunnel, as well as the Cerulean rival and the routes above Cerulean, and while doing that, Wartortle learned Bite to make Misty easier. Then he learns Dig via TM for Surge, we get the Ice Beam TM and Celadon for Erica, and once we get Surf, we breeze through the rest of the gyms, albeit a very small hiccup against Sabrina. Then the moveset of Surf, Submission, Ice Beam, and Earthquake is perfect for the Elite Four and Champion. Something else Gen 1 is notorious for is very poor move pools. So when you have a Pokemon that has strong stab moves, as well as powerful coverage moves like Blastoise does, it makes a huge difference. Thanks for checking out this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment about what you enjoyed, or leave a comment about what you thought sucked. I won't listen to it, but YouTube likes any interaction at all. We'll be back with another starter run soon. Can you guess who it'll be? Any idea? Well, you mull it over, and I'll see you next time.